All right, hi everyone. I am Fran and I'm gonna walk you through how to set up and run Fran Ads on your laptop. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. All right, let me move this. All right. So I have two public repos, one for the front end and another one for the back end. So let's start with the front end. Um, Here you will see all the instructions. You can see a 15-minute demo of the app that we're going to build. Assumptions, you already have a Google Ads account. If you don't, you can go here. You already have a Google Ads Manager account. If you don't, go here. You have a developer token. If not, go here. And I assume that you know Python, JavaScript, full stack web development, and APIs. This app that we're going to build uses Django for the backend and React for the front end, two very popular frameworks around the world, and Bootstrap for CSS. This is the architecture of the app that we're going to build. And let's jump into the installation. That is the important part for this tutorial. First, we will need to clone this repo and follow this instruction. So let's here we copy this so we can clone the repo. I have, this is not, I have this folder that is empty, as you can see, where I'm gonna do the entire tutorial. So first, let's open the terminal. All right, let's create a virtual environment. It's creating a virtual environment so we can host our project there. And now let's activate it. All right, we know that it is activated because we see it here. All right, and now let's navigate to that folder and let's clone the front end repo. I'm going to paste the URL that we copied before. So now it's cloning. Okay, we have the repository cloned here. Let's check out for the next step. We have cloned the repo. We have created a virtual environment. Now we need to install all the dependencies that we are going to use for the front end. So we just run npm install. So before doing that, let me show you what you're going to install. You're going to install React. You're going to install React Bootstrap, React Cookie, React DOM, React Router DOM, well, and you can see it over there. I'm going to close here. So let's navigate to that folder. All right. And now it's installing all the necessary packages and dependencies for this web application to run successfully. All right, it's finishing. Great. The final step for this part of the process is to start the server. With what we've done, we should have the front end ready to go. So let's npm start. It will start the development server for the front end. It is opening it on a browser here that I'm not sharing the screen, so let me do it here. This will open automatically for you. Here you go. We have the front end. Do not navigate yet because we still need to set up the backend of the app. So that was the last part of the installation for the front end. Now let's do the same thing, but for the backend. So here again, instructions, installation. We need to clone this repo and follow the instructions. So let's clone this repo, copy. Let's open a new terminal. All right, we need to activate again the virtual environment. All right, now let's navigate inside that folder and let's clone the repo for the backend. As you can see, when I close the front end, backend, we have it here. All right, and we need to install all dependencies by running this. And before doing that, let me show you what you're going to install. You're going to install Django, Django course headers, Django REST framework, Google Ads, and Google API Python client. This Google Ads version, the 14.1.0, is for Google Ads version 9. A few days ago, the new version 10 was released, but version 9 will work perfectly. All right, so let's see where we are. Let's navigate to the backend folder. All right, and let's install the requirements. This will take a few more seconds. Let me show you while we wait. The next steps. So step number 2 is to get a new secret key for the app. So Django uses a secret key. If you clone my repo, the secret key will not work for you. It's better that you generate a new one, and you can use this tool. That it is to generate Django secret key. So I just click here, and it generated a Django secret key. So I'm gonna copy this. Let me check that the installation of packages has been finished. Yes, perfect. So let's see. After I generate, I have to go to settings inside the backend folder and replace the value in the line number 37. So let's go. We are in the backend folder, settings file, line 37. Here we go. We are gonna eliminate this and paste a new file and save it. It's saved. All right. Let's see what else we have. We need to do the necessary migrations by running this command. Let me check that we are in the correct folder. Perfect. It was migrate, right? Migrate, yeah. All right, it's doing all the necessary migrations. You can see all the OKs. Now we need to create a super user to manage the backend. So we're going to run that command. All right, and here is asking me for the username. You can leave it blank to accept the suggestion. I'm going to accept the suggestion. You need to put an email address and a password. Again. Okay, and if it was successful, you will see this super user created successfully. All right, now we start the backend server. Python run server. All right, we can see here that the backend server has started. And now we can open an admin panel to manage the backend in our browser. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it here. All right, here you put your username and the password that you use to create when you were creating the super user. All right, so here you have all the models the app uses. I'm not gonna go over this because this is I assume that you know Django, but if you don't, there's tons of documentation on it. So now that we have the front end and the back end, there is still one more thing to do before everything works okay. And is this section steps that it's in both repos. These are exactly the same steps, so no matter where in which repo are you following. But you will need to create a Google Cloud project to consume Google APIs. You can follow all the instructions here. You will need to enable the APIs. Here, for example, I have my Google Cloud platform where you have the OAuth 2.0. These are the credentials that you are going to get. But everything is explained here, so I'm not going to go over that. Google My Business. You will need to verify your Google Cloud project. This is not something that you need to do now. It's something that you will need to do when you're ready to push the application into production and start onboarding new users. But I listed here helpful documentation to help you out on that process. And here is another important part. You will need to set up environment variables using the credentials that you obtained when you created a project on Google Cloud Platform. So you will configure these environment variables because our backend uses those. Let me show you that. This is what we just created. Let's go to the API folder. And for example, well, this file get campaigns. As you can see, usually this is what happens first. We run the configurations and we use environment variables, the client ID, client secret, the developer token. And this part, the Google client secret path, we use it on the authenticate file, that this is the file that contains the OAuth flow, the backend part of it. As you can see, you will need to set up the client secret path. So we also use the environment variables here. Right, I think when you do that, you're ready to go. As I already have the environment variables configured and already created a project and so on, this web application that we are seeing now, it can already run following the steps that we just did. So I'm gonna hit start, log into your account. This username is a username that I already uh, Google Chrome is saying like, hey, use this one. I'm gonna sign up. So don't you have an account? This is the first user that we're gonna create. So I'm gonna sign up and let's testing tutorial and the password, whatever. I will sign up and users will be redirected here where they have two choices. They can connect to an existing Google Ads account or they can create a new Google Ads account. So our app can create a Google Ads account on their behalf. Let's just connect for this purpose. It's going to be okay. This is the OAuth flow. Here you select the account that you want to use to authenticate. Let's use my personal email. You will get this window because this app hasn't been verified yet. This is what I was talking you here before, that you will need to verify this project when you launch it into production. But while you are in development phase, this is okay. So I'm going to hit continue. And you're going to see a separate window here than what you're seeing now because I already gave access to my app with this Google account. But basically, in this step, we ask users to give us two permissions, one for AdWords campaigns, that's for Google Ads, and for Google Business Listings, that's for Google My Business, aka Business Profile. I think it changed very recently the name. Let's hit continue. And the user will be redirected to this page that is the accounts page, where the app lists all the accounts that are associated with that Google account that I used during the OAuth flow. All right, I'm not going to show more features of the app because I have a separate video for that. You can check that demo out if you like. Um, but for example, here, as you can see, it's all the information, and we just created this web application. Let's check out what's happening on the backend. So here, for example, you have refresh tokens here. In this model, you will save the refresh tokens of the users, as you can see here. And we are going to use this my token, that is what our backend generates dynamically every time we sign up a new user. And that's it. You're ready to go. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help. Bye.